Who thought Christmas holidays was a good idea? Mini Meltdown was bored out of his skull after about day 2. We hadn't even got near Christmas Day or even Christmas Eve. And as for the last 4 or more days, we were all very stir crazy, perhaps. So anyway, I opened up a new model and away we go. What do we have here this time? We have a knight, the Red Knight of Vienna it is called. This has gone through so many different box covers and titles. It's remarkable. I got it as a kid because I loved armour. I got a couple of the other Monogram knights which go back to the 50s. Some were better than others, and I've made one. I can't remember what his real name is, we'll come back to that in a minute. And I made him in a brown finish, kind of thick lacquer. Anyway, and I changed his head and his posture. So much so that I bought another one. I might do him properly. Anyway, I bought this one, and I had this as a kid, and it was awful. It is so bad. The proportions and posture are... Well, the proportions are okay, the posture is dire, and the head underneath the helmet is just chronic. Why have I done it there? Oh, and the red, it just doesn't look right. Particularly as he's got like a red... later to be called tonlet underneath. Anyway, why have I done it? Not nostalgia, believe me, but because I think A, I can probably try and do it better and possibly do it justice, and B, because I've got another one that I'm going to muck around with, and I was very pleased. I haven't opened that one. This one that I'm going to do just as the standard model, still in a vacuum wrap, cling filmy stuff. But this one, first of all, for some reason or other I did that so I can keep the box. So this is the other guy, the Black Knight of Nuremberg. Oh, we've had Nuremberg recently. Anyway, so I might try and do him again another day. Depends. Getting back to this one though, I am going to do 2 versions, and I am going to mess about with this one, because first of all, that ain't great. The neck, the early Victorian waxworks look about him. The other box is sliding off. Crash. And the armour isn't quite right. None of it's quite going together properly. The other thing about this armour is, in particular, that it's a tournament armour. The stand says that it's from 1480, which is probably about right. You would have seen this kind of gear going on into the 1500s. It's very stiff. And tournament armours have things like these whacking great helmets, sometimes called frogmouth helmet, and tournament shield, which isn't like your ordinary shield, and then this weird hand piece. And as time goes by and you go into the 1500s, you get these additional bits of armour that you can either attach over the top of your suit or harness, or you just take off bits and you attach these crazy gigantic pieces over the top, or you just have a whole tournament suit. So this is a point of very interesting development. I love the helmet. When I got older and I got rid of a load of kits, I got rid of this one but kept the helmet for years. I've got a funny feeling I've still got the double-headed eagle. Anyway, so yes, I'm going to mess about with this because it is so gormless, I think is the word, that it lends itself to being abused. Right, a lovely, quick and pointless unboxing video. Oh, I'm so Surprised at what I get. There you go, you get a bag full of bits, and underneath the instructions, there, we're happy, aren't we? Actually, the real point of this is to show that it now comes in grey plastic, not red. So, there we are. And the instructions. That went wrong, didn't it? It's nice to see the Monogram title there, and it's nice to see a hint of old Monogram. Love their stuff. Everything. Superb style. And there's our fella. Anyway, so that's told us what we've got, but I'm going to go on to the other one now, which I've already covered in lead downpipe or something. Spray. That's the title of a spray, and I've forgotten the company who make it. This is... we could verge on the pointless, really, couldn't we? But this is just to give you an idea of how that spray has come out. I think that's gorgeous. It's not your knight in shining armour stuff, because this guy is going to be a little bit worse for wear. I do love a rather grubby suit of armour. And there's some bits, you can see the black lance there, from that other knight of Nuremberg. So odds and ends in that box too. Time to get going. And this is the well, I think it's all the parts laid out, but first of all, due to not being particularly large, these ones are going to stay on the sprue for a bit. Due to these ones being particularly large, I'm going to put them together fairly quickly and without much pre-painting. I'll probably do the skirt section. I might do some of the mail there because it'd be hard to reach, but apart from that, these are going to get done rapidly because I want to sort of ensure that the paintwork on the armour and any weathering is consistent all the way round, rather than have to try and blend it all in after I've done it. I don't want too many like double handling. I don't want too much of that going on. So that's what I'm going to do. One of the interesting things about these old models is there aren't too many microscopic parts, but also some models I've found more recently, some of the parts are just uninspiring. They don't drive you to want to put them on, which is very frustrating because that is the main task of model making, is putting bits together, and if you don't have that drive, then it's all gone to pot. I think inspiring parts is very important for me. I've only just started to realise that's the case. On the other hand, kind of uninspiring parts are also possible with large parts. Particularly, I don't think I've ever met a perfect model of a suit of armour, in my opinion, because that could have been made up of a series of really quite good parts. And if you made them as the suit of armour would have been made, you could put the figure into different positions. I don't mean they'll move, I mean you can choose, you can select different position, a specific position of your choice to put the figure in. So there's that kind of thing that could have been done. Here, these tassets, let me see if I can get this right. These tassets which hang sort of from the stomach area are attached to the bit of metal that would be underneath, whereas you could have had that bit of metal as part of the breastplate, which it should be, and the tassets separate, and you could even have the straps separate because they wouldn't be too small. Look at the size of them against my finger. So there's all that kind of thing. I won't labour it. There's all that kind of thing. Whereas we've got a very stiff and may I say gormless figure, just standing there, which is a shame because it's it's not a particularly beautiful suit of armour, but it's an interesting one. So it would have been good to, get a bit of vigour into it. Never mind, let's put it together. And so the first parts have come together, and a tiny bit of painting going on. I've done sort of layer 1 of the mail. I'm going to do the straps in brown. The mail is so shallow, it's very hard to do a simple dry brush or a wash, I've found. Just lightening up the metalwork itself just a little, that probably shows it best at the moment. I will get a stronger silver and highlight in that, and then do some low lighting, and then probably work back with a bit of highlighting just to get a variety of shades, and then probably a bit of muck and rust. So arms and legs really, unspectacular, not a great way to end part 1. Terrible way to end part 1. But we will have another part, probably numbered 2, very shortly. I think we're in the painting phase, so there'll be more painting. So yes, Happy New Year, good to see you back. Thanks for watching, and if you're new in the new year, hello.